The Trump administration's efforts to reduce the size of the government continues to impact several agencies. The U.S. Forest Service seeing major cuts, more than 1,000 employees laid off, including biologists, trail builders, and mapping experts. The Trump administration walked back some of those changes. They restored at least 50 jobs in an effort to maintain and clean the parks and up the available seasonal positions from 5,000 to nearly 8,000. So let's go to Wyoming's Shoshone National Forest and CBS News correspondent Ian Lee. Ian, great to see you. There's still a massive amount of people, though, whose jobs were simply taken away. What impact will their firings have on the Forest Service's ability to do its job?
Hi, Liz. Let me give you a number. 160 million. That's roughly the number of people who visit the national forests around the country every year. And these people who were fired, these probationary employees, these are folks that, build trails, they clean bathrooms, they maintain campgrounds. So these are the people that the general public deals with on a daily basis. In fact, the ranger station I'm standing in front of right now, their front door is shut, it's closed. That front desk isn't operating because the person who is manning it, they've been fired as well. So if you were to come into this town and want some basic information, you just couldn't get it. And so that's the kind of impact that it's going to have, especially on people this summer as they get out into the national forest. I've been speaking with a number of senior Forest Service officials across the country, and they're telling me the folks that were fired, these were the future of the Forest Service, and that it could take decades to repair the damage that was done.
And, you brought it up. Summer is right around the corner, so that means hot weather and the risk for wildfires. How is this going to impact fire season in terms of protecting our national forests?
Yeah, Liz, there's something about the Forest Service that is pretty unique. It's similar to the Marine Corps in a way, where in the Marine Corps, every Marine is a rifleman. Well, in the Forest Service, many of the people fight fires, even if it isn't their normal job, even if they're on a trail crew or a biologist. A lot of people get qualified to fight fires. And so when there is a massive fire season, it's an all hands on deck situation. I spoke with 3 people. They weren't fire people, but they were all qualified to fight fires. They said they've been fighting fires. They're ready to go fight fires. And so this could really have an impact on the fire season when you have people who are qualified to fight fires fired in this way.
Yeah, you mentioned that you got a chance to talk to some of the people who were fired. Can you tell us more about who they are and how are they handling their terminations? Are they already looking for new jobs?
When you talk to these people, they're not in the Forest Service to make money. You don't get rich being in the Forest Service. These are people who are passionate about their jobs and their service to the public. And so it really destroyed their worlds. These were people who imagined retiring from the Forest Service in 30, 40 years' time. And so now they're looking for new jobs. Some of them, I talked to one lady, she was recently engaged. Another man just has an 8-month-old child. And so their lives were completely disrupted. And then you got to also look at communities, small communities like this and all over the country, where a lot of these federal jobs provide not only jobs for those people, but a source of revenue for those communities. And so small communities across the country could also be heavily impacted by these firings.
Yeah, each one of these numbers that we talk about, Ian, these are people with families, these are people with mortgages, so it's making an impact, no question. All right, Ian Lee, thank you so much for that.